Hello my dear patrons and my dear Twitch subscribers, how you guys doing? Welcome to this behind the scenes video of how I'm using the new soundboard on my Twitch channel. So I recently acquired this soundboard by Novation. It's the Launchpad mini version, and as you can see, it is pretty mini. It's pretty small. I'm 5'1", so I have tiny little hands, and it's not that bigger. It's not that bigger than my hands, so I really like it because I don't have that much room on my desk anymore. So I like that it's really tiny and small. But anyways, I'm gonna try to show you guys how I've been using the soundboard, and the first thing that I need to show you is this software over here, because this is a software that I'm using to input or insert the sound effects to the soundboard. So the software is called Ableton Live 10 Lite. And this is like the basic layout. You start with 2 MIDI channels over here and 2 audio channels. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the MIDI ones because we're not gonna be using those. Let me go ahead and just delete those. And right now we have 2 columns. Now, as you can see, the Launchpad soundboard only has 8 columns over here, which means that we can add up to 8 columns over here as well for audio tracks. Let's go ahead and add up to 8. There we go. And if I try to add a 9th one, the program is going to say that we are limited to 8 because of the version of Live. So we can only add up to 8, again, because the soundboard only has up to 8 columns. Now, as you can see, we also have 8 rows over here, and each button belongs to one of these little blocks over here on the columns. So we can have up to 64 sound effects right now selected, which is pretty cool. It's pretty handy. But we're not going to be working with this one because I want to show you guys how I have it set up for my live stream. So let's go ahead and open that file right now. There we go. And I left the first column open so I can show you how to add sound effects and music to the software and thus to the soundboard. So right now you can see that there are some buttons that are lit up with an orange color, and there are some that are not lit up, and that means that they are not holding any sounds or any music in that spot. So if I click, let's say this one right here, it should activate this one right there. So let's go ahead and click it. And as you can see, the minute I click it, it turns green, and that means that it's being used. So that's basically kind of like how it works. If it's orange, it means that it's holding a sound effect, and if it's empty, it means that it obviously doesn't have anything. Green means that it's playing, and yeah. So now if you, let's say, wanted to play multiple sound effects at the same time, what you could do is you can store them in a single row, and if you click one of these buttons over here, it will play all of the sound effects on that row. So I'm gonna stay quiet for a little bit so you guys can hear it, but if I click on this one, it basically played every sound effect on that row, which can be a little bit loud. So if you wanted to do something like music-wise, like a DJ or something like that, you can totally use this soundboard for that. Now, let me go ahead and explain real quick how to turn off the sound effects in case you don't want it to be like playing for a really long period of time. So let's say, for example, I have this sound effect right here. And that's a very short sound effect, so once it's done, unless you have it on loop, it will stop. However, if you have, let's say, a piece of music, like this one, it will keep playing until that song is completely done. But let's say, for example, I don't want to play the entire song on my live stream. So what do? I have to turn it off by clicking an empty button in that same column. Again, the same column, not the same row, because on the same row, it will just play the next sound. But yeah, I need to turn it off by clicking a button that's empty. If I click on it again, it will just play it all over again from the very beginning. Let me go ahead and show you guys. So right now it's playing for the first time. If I click on it again, it's just starting it again. And again. So if I wanted to stop it, I need to click on an empty space in that same column. Because again, if I click on something on the same row, it will play both sounds at the same time. So to turn it off, again, empty button right there. So it's pretty handy to have an empty button available so, you know, you can just stop it manually and not have the sound effect play forever and ever. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of like the basic of the soundboard. Now, to add sounds and music to the soundboard, you need to add them into the software as well. So I have a couple of sound effects over here. Let me go ahead and add one right over here so you can see. And as you can see right now, everything is empty and nothing is lit up because we don't have anything on the column. But as soon as I drag and drop the sound, it will automatically give me another, like another orange button right here that I can click on. So if we click on it, it will play, but it has this kind of like weird sound on it. I don't know if you can hear it. It's kind of like a small, like almost like a delay, like it's playing twice at the same time. So what we need to do to get rid of that is that we need to click on this button right here called warp, turn it off, and if we click on it again, now we have a better version of the sound. It's really loud. I'm so sorry. It might have come through my microphone because I think it's too loud and it's coming out of my headset as well. Anyway, yeah, if you like every time you add a new sound, if you want like a cleaner version of it, you need to unselect warp. Why it does that, I don't know. I'm still learning the software, and I googled this and it said that you needed to turn it off, so that's why I've been doing it. But yeah, that's basically kind of like the first things that you need to do once you're adding sound effects to the software. Now, if the sound effect is too loud, you can always lower the sound effect right here in its own little box right over here. So let's go ahead and play this one, for example, and we're gonna go ahead and lower the sound or the volume. And you can see how the wave is getting shorter, or I guess smaller, because we're actually lowering the volume of the sound effect. Now, let's say I wanted to lower the entire column. Like all of the sounds that I added here are way too loud and I'm way too lazy to go one by one. So what you can do is you can click on this one over here and it will lower the volume for this entire column. So that's another thing that you can do in case you have multiple sounds that you want to lower or raise the volume to. So that's another thing that you can do. But yeah, that's pretty much the basic of how it works. It's pretty awesome. We have some good sound effects like this one, for example, and we then have to click on that one. So we get the ta-da. So this one is a drum roll. And then over here we have the ta-da. So if I wanted to play them both so it makes sense, I would have to go like this. Just kind of timing the sound effect so it makes sense, you know, so it's a nicer little product out there for my viewers. But yeah, I really love this. Again, I'm still learning the software. I want to learn how to add sound effects to my microphone. That's another thing that, you know, I'm in the process of learning. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's video. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your incredible support and for your generosity, guys. I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have an amazing day, guys. I love you. Bye-bye.